Buckle up for another episode of Ghost Facers, a supernatural rewatch podcast. My name is Richard, and sitting shotgun as always is my brother in podcasting, Reed.
Don't listen to him. He's saying that his name is Richard, but he's been replaced with a mandroid. It's just, you can tell, there's a vocal flare when he says buckle up. It's a dead giveaway. The government doesn't want you to know about this. He retreats into the sewers to recharge his batteries.
Hey, Reed. Look, I'm going to be completely honest with you here. Mandroids don't exist. None of this is real. You need to get over it. Give me all of your evidence.
I'm right.
Let's get it.
Ghost Facers! We're facing ghosts! We're others, we're not! We're ghosts! Ghost Facers! Stay in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot! Ghost Facers! We're facing nightmare! We're facing dread! Ghost Facers! We're facing faceless! We're facing dead!
Welcome to Ghost Facers! Today we're discussing Season 2, Episode number 12.
Got it right.
Yeah, that's right. Nightshifter, baby.
Oh, I think that's also a reference to something that hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, no, yeah, because that would be Episode 14, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Oops.
Yeah. No, we do this in order every week the day it comes out.
Yeah, we know exactly where we are in the timeline.
Within minutes of you listening to this, we had recorded it and released it.
Yeah, you're actually listening live.
Yeah. Every single time you listen to it, and if you go back and listen to it again,
We're still here.
that's a new
Trapped
recording.
in your phone.
Yeah. Help.
Please release us.
Let me out.
Let us see our families.
Yeah. But you won't. And this episode aired January 25th, 2007.
Oh, good Lord.
Written by Ben Edlund. Directed by Screecha.
Wow.
Yeah. Screecha.
Is it Screecha or Segreecha?
Secretions.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, guess we're never getting him on.
This episode was viewed by an estimated 3.42 million viewers.
Wow, that's a little bit of a bump, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of climbing back up.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why, but I like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a good premise for an episode. I don't know if in 2007 people were still checking out TV Guide, but...
No, but they have trailers for the next episode.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's a pretty solid premise for an episode.
It also often is a response to the previous episode, I think.
That's true.
But was that not a really exceptional episode?
It was pretty good. It was Playthings.
Oh,
last week.
yeah, it's a great episode.
It's a good episode.
I don't know. But there we are. Yeah, let's figure this out. We need to get
Everybody
to the bottom
just hang on. Put whatever you were working on, put it down. We gotta hammer this out.
yeah, brainstorm session. Where
All
we at
right,
with this?
hit me.
Let's move on.
No, hit me.
Ugh. One more time. Let's move to international titles. Of course, Nightshifter is a reference to the Henry Winkler comedy Night Shift from 1982.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just in case you weren't aware.
Right.
You ready for some international titles, baby?
I move a lot, like in bed. I'm a night shifter.
I drive automatic most of the time, but at night, manual, baby. I'm a night shifter.
I'm a night shifter.
No, I just grind the transmission all day long. I'll finally actually use it in the evening.
Yeah, it's in first basically all day long.
Yeah. Terrible for my vehicle. I basically pump through a new car every month, but that's just the way that's the way things are when you're a night shifter, baby.
A night shifter with a day job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a poor mistake on my part, but
That's
I'm not going to
hilarious.
change who I am. International titles. Are you ready? Night Shifter.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on where we could be going with this?
I think that actually most of them won't be a riff on Night Shift at all. Like, I think it'll probably, like, one of them has to be, like, hostage or taken hostage or something like that. Like, that's got to be, like, Poland or something, right?
Poland's the only one who got it right.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Poland, though, quick little shout out, where we are the #1 after show on Apple.
Is it just because we say the word Poland every episode?
It might be. That's good for the algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said, oh, no, I'm not going to, no.
Yeah, go on.
They said Poland in this episode. I'm just going to do Russian. That's not offensive, right? Poland. I really want to bump up those numbers this month.
Wow.
So Poland got it
I
right.
was trying to do the audio version of, remember, like in the early days of the internet where you'd like type like a keyword in like an invisible font.
Yes.
On a website.
Wow.
So it showed up a bunch to boost the SEO.
Wow. Yes. All right.
Brazil,
Brazil.
capoeira. I think it's got to be like bank time or
We're heading in that direction, but
money bank.
Brazil is Night Walker, which doesn't really make any sense.
That's basically further from it.
Yeah. It's. I get where they got there. They're like night, shifter, mover, walker.
Yeah, we don't have a word for that. So yeah,
No.
no, Night Walker is further from it.
I mean, we have words for night walkers. They're called perverts. Coming in early,
Okay.
hungry.
Wow. So Hungary is not the craziest one. This one has to be like hostage or something like that.
You're on the right track.
Or like bank heist or something.
Bank
like
robber. The bank robber. This is the bank robber. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The French.
He's not a robot.
It's. What's funny is that it's I didn't realize that this was like the word in French is basically the exact same word in English here. It's the polymorph.
Oh yeah, which is funny because you think they would have used that the first time
Right?
around. Yeah.
Nope.
Although that episode was called Skin,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
fine.
So, German.
Oh, conspiracy nut job.
No, but you're dancing around the right area.
Okay.
It's the Mandroid,
Yeah, right. There we go. Yeah.
which I was like, it's again the word just exists in German. It's der Mandroid.
Well, yeah. I mean, I doubt that word actually existed before this show. It's just there is no translation because it's a portmanteau, right?
Yeah, but then why not just do Nightshifter?
No, it's too important.
Fair. Our last one.
Finland?
That's right. Finland.
Gun rampage, motherfucker.
How did you get it
is
right?
that
Yeah,
what it is?
motherfucker in there
Yeah,
too.
they can put that on network TV in
Yeah,
Finland.
exactly. It takes a very small detail from the episode and then a piece from this title and puts them together.
I don't know, like Night Escape or something like that.
No. The Eyes of the Night.
Wow.
I was like, I mean, I like the title. Means nothing.
It's pretty far from it.
Yeah,
but
means nothing.
But I do dig it.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I have no idea what that concept. I guess because the eyes glow, but it's nothing to do with night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not.
Hey, wait a minute. Get him. Featured music from this episode. We got one song.
Glory from Rent.
No, it's 525.
One song, Glory.
God, I hope I rob them. I hope they rob them.
God, I hope it's Mandroid.
I hope it's been.
How many Mandroids does he need?
How many people will he change into? How many boys? How many girls?
It's always a chorus line with you.
Like, when you're a hammer, everything's a nail. I'm just gonna tell you right now.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
No, it's Renegade by Styx.
Yeah.
Great song.
That is a good track.
I loved Styx as a kid.
Styx is a great band. I remember doing Come Sail Away for an audition for something at some point.
Did you hit the same register?
At the time, yes.
Wow.
I mean, listen to me now. It was never going to happen.
No, not at all. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be like your father and you're just going to slowly get deeper and deeper and deeper.
Until I'm imperceptible to the human ear. You'll just hear you'll hear like seismic rumbling.
That's not far from where your father is now.
His voice isn't that low.
That is the deepest voice I've ever heard.
That's not true. Michael Clark Duncan?
Deeper.
What?
Yeah.
No.
He's your dad. You don't realize.
Kevin Michael Richardson?
No, he's deeper.
There's no way.
Yeah, he's the deepest voice I've ever heard. Get off this podcast. Come back, don't worry. Go to the Dr. DC podcast and find the Dr. DC Senior episode.
Right.
It's insane.
Right. Episodes 61 and 108.
How do you remember that?
Because I'm the only one that cares.
I mean, that's true. But I didn't think you did either.
Well,
you can't not care.
Yeah.
It's a sickness.
Yeah.
TV Guide describes this episode as Sam and Dean investigate a series of bank robberies committed by unlikely suspects who then kill themselves. Reed and Richard.
It says here they were podcasters.
Well, I get why they killed themselves. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I would too. Have you listened to this thing?
But autopsies reveal that in each case, the thief had actually died days before the crime, pointing to a shapeshifter committing the thefts. Wow, just really spoiling it, TV Guide.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it also is called Nightshifter, which is a deliberate,
Yes.
I don't think the episode's playing too coy about it.
No, still, but really just giving away the goose.
Yes, yeah.
Also, how many people know the episode's names when they're actually watching shows?
I mean, it comes up
I never
at the beginning.
I never pay attention to that.
Or like at Star Trek, they always put the episode title in the beginning.
I
of the
never pay
episode.
attention to that. I'm always like, yeah.
Oh, words. Ew. I'm watching TV. I'm not going to read.
I'm watching Star Trek Next Generation.
I'm not watching reading.
Yeah. I just want to see the action. That's why I'm watching Star Trek Next Generation.
Yeah, the most action-packed show.
I don't care about these esoteric ideas like reading.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see if Moriarty makes it out of the holodeck.
Yeah, I want to see Picard go through an entire lifetime while inside of a ship.
I told you that Teen Titans Go did an episode that was like that.
I can't believe that. That's incredible.
Ugh.
So, an interesting fact here. Okay. This episode contains many allusions to the X-Files episode, The X-Files Folie from 1998, including the basic plot, a man holding people hostage in order to protect them from a monster, and Resnick being a character's last name. So,
oh, interesting. So it's like a very deliberate riff there.
Definitely. But before we get into this episode, why don't we open up Dad's Journal and talk about the real world lore on today's... I mean, I'm going to stop saying monster because it has not been a monster the last, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So what's...
Yeah, it's lore.
Yeah, let's open up the real world lore about today's.
Yeah, good revision.
Nice. Solved it.
You did it. Yeah, let's see what the lore says about conspiracy theories.
There it is.
Yeah.
Spooky.
So we know what a conspiracy theory is.
It's a truth that just hasn't been found out yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're here to talk about Pizzagate, lizard people.
Gatesgate.
Jesus Christ. So a conspiracy theory is different from a conspiracy, of course. There are real life conspiracies. Conspiracy theories are
an idea about what a conspiracy could be.
Well, but even more specifically, they're not even a theory about a real conspiracy. The term conspiracy theory now refers to something irrational.
Oh, it doesn't even the thing that it's describing.
If you're theorizing about a real conspiracy, you wouldn't call it a conspiracy theory. Like, this term has taken on a life of its own. So, yeah, it refers to a belief that a particular event was orchestrated, manipulated, covered up, or otherwise affected by powerful and covert people and or groups, usually for some political or economic motivation. Generally speaking, the perception of people who believe in conspiracy theories is that they're paranoid, delusional, insular, stuff like that. There are psychological studies that do sort of support the idea that people with actual paranoia and things like that do tend to believe conspiracy theories.
Look, man, genius is never really appreciated in its time. It's fine.
Yeah. Conspiracy theorists see themselves as uniquely capable, that they have privileged access to information or knowledge that's considered stigmatized or taboo. It's almost like they have almost like a savior kind of syndrome thing where they're like, I'm the only one that knows the truth.
Somebody save.
Or just the idea that like they're sitting in their house going online and on the internet they find quote unquote evidence that like Obama is really a lizard. And then they go, no one else knows this. I found it. Like it wasn't on the internet free for everyone to read.
You might think that that's a green shirt underneath his collar, but I know that's his real skin.
Yeah, exactly. So it's this sort of like delusion about being the only one to see the truth.
Yeah.
Right?
Everyone thinks you're such a nice guy, Reed, and I know. I've got a conspiracy theory that says...
not really a conspiracy. I'm actually kind of an asshole.
Yeah, no, that's the
can
thing.
confirm.
Yeah, fair.
Psychologically speaking, conspiracy theories and belief in the supernatural are thought to be tied to a common phenomenon called illusory pattern perception.
Okay.
So this is sort of where we could tie these things together a little bit. So the brain has a natural tendency to try to discern patterns in things. That's how brains work. So that also applies. They did studies where like they would just show fully randomized coin tosses and people would perceive a pattern in them. They'd be like, oh, when this happens, it'll come up heads, even though it's completely random.
Wow.
Your brain is working so hard to find a pattern in chaos or in random things that it will make one up.
Okay.
It will
yeah.
you'll think you're perceiving that like, oh, when they like tense their muscle before they flip it or when they but like it's not true, but it's your brain working really hard to try and find a pattern. There was a study from 2018 that essentially concluded that there was an influence and relationship between belief in irrational conspiracies and supernatural events and pattern perception. That goes both ways. So you could present something sort of chaotic or whatever, people would see a pattern in it and then believe that thing. Or you could take people that believe a thing, show them something, and they would be like, here's the pattern.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is, yeah, kind of wild.
Yeah.
Our
Our brains are stupid.
Yeah, idiot brain. Conspiracy theories, unlike a proper theory pursued by scientific method, are unfalsifiable, and they rely on circular reasoning. And a big thing is that any evidence counter to the theory or an absence of evidence of the theory is considered to be evidence of the truth of the theory. So if there's no evidence against it, you go like, of course there's not. It's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
And if there's evidence against it, they go, that's what they want you to believe. So you literally like
There is
that's
no possible
that's
way.
the defensive posture of like a conspiracy theory, right? There are different types and kinds of conspiracy theories. Different researchers have different sort of rubrics for the types. There's one researcher that sort of split it into 5, where it was like the enemy from without, the enemy from within, the enemy from above, the enemy from below, and then the benevolent conspiracy theory, which would be like
God.
or like, you know, aliens building the pyramids or something like that, where it's like they did it for us, they gave us their technology, kind of thing. But that's not the only.
But that's an example of like a true thing. So
What?
I don't.
Uh-oh.
I don't understand.
Sorry,
I knew it.
Just got to send a message here.
Oh no! They found me out!
There's a weird sort of subset of conspiracy theories that I found that's related to this episode that has to do with identity theft or the replacement of dead celebrities with lookalikes
so
or clones or whatever.
Yeah.
So, including Melania Trump. Now, this one, even I'm sort of inclined to believe that they used body doubles a couple times. I don't think she's dead,
No.
but I do think that sometimes it wasn't her standing there.
Yeah. I mean, who could be around him often anyways?
Right? So that's a theory that's out there. There's a very famous one, the Paul is dead
Yes,
theory.
yeah.
That Paul McCartney died in like 66.
Yeah.
And they replaced him with Billy Shears, the Canadian that won that Paul McCartney lookalike contest, the one that they reference in Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah, But
So the theory is that
Wings
they were
is so good. There's no way.
God, Paul McCartney is just such the lesser talent.
Oh, between him and John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At any rate,
Wow. Some deep fucking Beatles feelings here.
yeah. Here's my theory: I killed Paul because I hate his music so much,
Wow.
and I replaced him with Billy Shears.
Wow.
Still Billy Shears, but I was behind.
Billy Shears is not my Paul.
Yeah. Well, there's people that believe that at the end of Strawberry Fields, you can hear John say, "I buried Paul."
Oh my god.
Or like if you play a different song backwards, they say like, "We miss you, Paul," or some shit like that.
But why?
Apparently the guilt was too much. I had to leave this like breadcrumb trail, right?
Yeah, because that's how crime works.
So that's the theory. There's a theory that Avril Lavigne died like right at the height of her career and was replaced by a supposed childhood friend named Melissa.
That's
And
weird.
the big piece of quote unquote evidence is that Avril Lavigne's stated height is like 1.85 meters or something. Well, not meters,
Oh, I'm sorry.
or something like that.
I was like, wait, what?
And then her, but some other indicator of her height was that she's only like 1.5 meters, and they were like, so
Wow. What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
generally,
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. I think it's probably I love the intrigue of the JFK assassination. The thing that I had seen or read, or maybe you pointed me to it about that one, was that I mean there was undoubtedly a cover up,
Yeah.
but that the evidence. Well, I mean, there's always like evidence, but that it seems to suggest that. Because they always thought it was the magic bullet thing, right?
Yeah.
Because you see like his head move in a couple ways or whatever. So the thought was that he got shot, but he wasn't dead until you can see in the video of one of the Secret Service guys, like kind of trips a bit. And the thought was that he accidentally discharged his weapon and that his shot actually killed Kennedy. So Kennedy got shot, and then this Secret Service agent, completely by accident, shot and killed him.
Oh my god.
And so then the cover up was so this guy could go and just like live his life in peace.
So that people didn't fucking like...
So people didn't go after him because they were like, it's a fucking accident. That shit's crazy.
Wow.
And so that,
regardless, he got shot. So
yeah. But
wow.
I mean, who knows if that's even true, but I think the JFK one is just so intriguing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously like real conspiracies that we just like don't have, like the Panama Papers got exposed, and then that journalist died, and we've just forgotten to follow up on that.
Whoops.
You know, Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yeah.
There's conspiracies out there, but I think of the theory variety, I really like the JFK assassination. I just love how it goes from like full sci-fi and magic to that there was like different layers, or that it was Castro, or that, like, you know, like I don't know. It's just, I love the political intrigue of that one, I think.
My new favorite one was one that actually a local comedian was wearing a shirt for recently.
Okay.
And told me about it, and I then became obsessed with it.
Okay.
Which was, there apparently is a theory in the United States that in the 70s, all of the birds in the United States were replaced with robots.
Every single one.
Yeah.
Right.
And so there's like a whole website and like merch dedicated to it, but what's great is the merch is actually really nice, like
it's well designed,
really well designed,
Right.
like beautiful, like
which
really
is not
great,
what you expect from a conspiracy theory.
No.
You expect it to be real slapdash,
like really good illustrations, like really thought-provoking stuff, but then it's also like the most bonkers thing you've ever heard.
That's hilarious.
Anyone needs to look it up. But yeah, Steph had a shirt on for the last show that
That's
we
so
did.
funny.
And I was like, what is that shirt? And she told me about it. And I'm like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, I heard about this, then found out there was merch and had to buy the shirt. And I was like, oh, 100%.
This is not a real conspiracy theory, but there's
Yeah.
a movie that I remember really enjoying that had Ian Holm in it, the guy that played Bilbo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he played Napoleon. Napoleon was famously exiled to the Isle of Elba.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie postulated that they found like a lookalike. They were going to sneak Napoleon back into France so he could take the throne again. But then before he could do that, the lookalike died, and all of France believed Napoleon was dead. And so Napoleon then the movie was about him living out the rest of his life not being able to be Napoleon because
Really?
no one believed he was Napoleon because Napoleon was claimed to be dead.
Wow.
Which is not a real conspiracy theory, but I love that setup.
That's really funny. So it's not a real thing,
No.
but that's it.
The
That
last-
sounds true enough.
The last celebrity one I wanted to bring up is because the other ones were like that they were replaced with like lookalikes or body
Yeah.
doubles, but in both the case of Megan Fox and Beyonce, there are theories that they were replaced by clones specifically.
Oh.
The Megan Fox one, that quote unquote evidence is that she looks different in different pictures,
Sure.
which is also just aging
And
slash
people.
plastic surgery slash whatever,
Yeah.
right? The Beyonce one was that she was in like she was like in a car crash or something and died, which is not like, I don't even think there is a record of her being in a car crash,
Wow.
but that she's been replaced with a clone. I don't really know where that one came from, but I thought it was hilarious.
Clone could never give us lemonade. I'm sorry.
No. If we can make clones that good, then like just go ahead and clone.
Yeah. Clone me.
Yeah.
Clone. I would love a clone. Another one of me.
Yeah, you started with Beyonce, move on to us. The next logical step in the cloning priority list.
Yeah. Famous singers, mediocre podcasters, like
Yeah.
F tier podcasters.
Who do you want to save Deep Impact style in like the arc of society? And I think we'd make it.
Oh, 100%. God. See, the thing is I would love another one of me because then I could get him to do a bunch of stuff, but then I'd have to kill him once he succeeded.
Oh, jeez. You'd be like the clone things in Invincible where you'd never know which one was the clone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It would be a prestige.
Or like in The Prestige.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a prestige situation, right? I have to I have a long laundry list of things for them to do, but then eventually, because they're a clone of me, they'd want their own version of success, so I'd have to
Right.
constantly set them up to die.
Or like a time remnant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. God. Biggest success I could ever have against myself.
I mean, the movie Men in Black posits the conspiracy theory that all of the advances in technology are alien. Right? Because isn't that what they say? Even down to Velcro. I think Men in Black says that Velcro
Really?
comes from aliens.
I mean, that's very funny. I always do like the did aliens do it stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's such like a white supremacist kind of conspiracy theory where it's like there's
color people couldn't do this,
there's
so
no way they could pull off a pyramid.
yeah, they weren't American.
They weren't a civilization.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like it's real got that stank to it, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, it's that white exceptionalism bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's ridiculous. All right, well, with that, why don't we get into today's episode?
I said this to you off mic, but it is still true for me that I'm a little bit nervous to get into this one because I remember loving this episode. Like, I'm pretty sure while it was happening, I was like texting you.
Yes, I do, because I remember you were like, because I remember the first Skin episode, you were like, oh, I just wish that there was more of that. And,
Yeah,
and I was
then
like, just you
and
wait.
this episode, like, I loved it so much, and so now I'm a little bit nervous.
Because of course you didn't watch it before.
I did not watch it before this. This is gonna be fresh. You're gonna get my hot takes.
Wow, I'm. Ooh, don't put on oven mitts. I don't want the hot take to burn you, right?
Oh, it's a caliente take.
Oh, muy.
Oh, rojo.
Oh, ay ay ay. Is that offensive?
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's just always assume it is.
Okay, in this then now seeing that skin effect, like pulling the skin
It's
up,
disgusting.
It's so I forgot about just the lumps of skin from that episode.
I was
and stuff.
eating while watching this last night.
Oh, so gross.
Yeah, it was not good. So this opening, this cold open for this episode starts with a breaking news story. A bank in downtown Milwaukee is being held up.
Yeah.
They want all that beer.
Old Milwaukee beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, yeah. I like it. It's we're seeing like the actual news footage.
Yeah,
it's a fun way to do the cold open.
The police squad cars are surrounding the building. There's paramedics on the scene.
That
Helicopters.
handheld cam, kind of shaky thing, and everything.
We find out this is the third hour of the holdup. SWAT team is now ready to enter, and just as we see the front door of the bank open up, And we see a man being escorted out of the building by Dean.
Yeah.
Looking frantically at all of the cameras and police cars outside.
Yeah.
God, Dean can't stay away from the camera.
I mean, with a face like that.
How could you? Whew. So now, that was the cold open. We go directly into one day earlier, still in Milwaukee. Sam and Dean, disguised as FBI agent, question 2 employees at a local jewelry shop about the most recent robbery.
Yeah, Dean's really going for it, too, with this...
Oh, yeah.
with this salesperson.
It's a dirtbag.
She's
Dean.
like, what's it like being like an FBI agent? He's being all suave.
I mean, she's into it, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're flirting.
Yeah. Helena had been an employee for years, and the previous night she had cleaned out all the displays cases in the safe. They're basically talking about this woman who worked there, who's like been like the model employee. She even makes a comment. The guy says like at one point during a Christmas party, she says that we're the only family she has.
Yeah.
Like they're setting it up to be like there is literally no world in which this woman would have done this. Like it makes no sense at all. We find out that Edgar, the night watchman, caught her in the act, but she managed to grab his gun and just shot him in the face.
Yeah, we just messed up. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Is that a messed up thing?
I just wanted to be on record that I think shooting people in the face is messed up.
I mean, I knew this episode was going to have hot takes, but
yeah.
Wow,
Listen.
really drawn a line in the sand.
I think it's time for me to get off the fence about whether or not being shot is cool.
I'd been waiting. I thought you could go either way, but I'm glad to finally know.
No, I'm committed now.
I could finally bring out all the
Unless
guns.
the other side makes me a better deal.
So apparently Helena then went home and she just killed herself by throwing a hairdryer in the bathtub.
Yeah, so messed up.
I'm also like, is that enough electricity to kill you?
I mean, we could test it.
Yeah.
Patreon?
For science.
Yeah.
Are we finally going to... This is how we're launching the Ghost Chasers Patreon?
Immediate suicide.
The Dr. DC one, we just did a musical... like a live improv performance. This we're just going to kill ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a $10 million tier.
Yeah, and then we'll be ghost facers.
Or they'll be the face.
They'll face the ghost, but the ghost will be us.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it. That makes sense. There's no motive as to why she would do this.
Yeah.
The cops got a hold of the security camera before any of the employees could take a look at them. Franny, one of the employees Sam and Dean interview, tries to hit on Dean, and he manages to get her phone number.
Oh, yeah, because she says, like, if you want to interview me sometime in private,
yes.
maybe you can interview me from behind.
Maybe you can interview my privates. So we then go to Ron's house, the security guard. Later that night, we pay Ronald Resnick's a visit. He's a security guard at the Milwaukee National Trust.
Yeah.
And played by Chris Gauthier. Chris Gauthier and Jensen Ackles both starred in Smallville. Chris Gauthier was also in Freddy vs. Jason in 2003, and Jared Padalecki would be in the reboot of Friday the 13th in 2009, 2 years later.
Oh, that's fun, yeah. But yeah, so there's this pattern, of people like inside job kind of like thefts and stuff like that don't make sense and stuff like that. So there
was apparently a similar incident to one of the jewelry stores occurred at a bank. The guy robbed the bank and then went home and apparently committed suicide. So we go to this guy who was a security guard at that bank,
and he brings them into this room where he's got like. I mean, it looks like when they set up their evidence in the motel, but we're meant to think he's crazy. So it's also kind of like we only know 17 aren't crazy because we've also seen ghosts in this show, right? But
exactly.
Like, it's a cool parallel, right? This guy is like, Juan didn't do it. I swear to God, blah, blah, blah. And he said, look at all this evidence. And you realize, like, as he's going, he's tripping over the types of evidence that Sam and Dean would be like, no, that is like definitely the sort of thing we'd investigate. But he's coming at it more from like a sci-fi conspiracy thing. He thinks they're mandroids. The picture on the magazine is one of the Cybermen from Doctor Who.
Well, so that's interesting, right? Because he says they're mandroid. It's the Cybermen. This magazine is titled The 14 Times, which was created and is real and published by Charles Fort, who published The 14 Times with what most people called supernatural events, the same type of events that hunters on the show usually use to track evil. Similar to Ripley's Believe It or Not, frogs falling from the sky or two-headed cows. All the stories were actual events, unexplained and unnaturally occurring. Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stone always had a newest edition of the 14 times when he toured.
There you go.
So he shows the boys a copy of the security tapes at the bank, and you can see he points out where Juan's eyes suddenly flare.
Yeah.
He says they're laser eyes.
Yeah. But what he stumbled on is like the shifter eyes.
Yeah.
Thing. This is what I love about this particular episode is that you're still meant to think this guy's a little nuts, but then Sam and Dean also have to be like,
fuck, he's right.
Like he's onto something. Like he's done pretty good work here. Like he's got maps. He's like figuring out all the stuff. He's like seeing the patterns they see, but
he's just pointing at the wrong thing.
But because he doesn't know that this stuff is like what stuff is real, he's just guessed the wrong way. I kind of love that shit.
But it also shows you, because when you're watching the show, you're like, how are only these hunters figuring this shit out? Yep. Well, there's got to be other people who know. And so they go, oh yeah, people figuring things out, but they don't, like, just doesn't mean they actually know what it is.
Yeah, but they get dismissed or whatever. So this guy looks at the map. He says, look, these are the things. I think it's hiding underground. It's like between all of these different sites that got hit.
Probably in the sewer.
It's where it's recharging its batteries.
Yeah, it's so close. So close.
But again, like you say, the sewer, and then like Sam and Dean go like, well, the shifter down in the sewer.
Yeah,
we've been there, you know.
They try to steer Ron away from this case. Sam gives Ron a reality check. I mean, it's actually a good acting moment where Sam goes like, okay, look, I'm going to be straight with you. This is all bullshit. You need to, but he does it in like a Men in Black kind of way where it's like, oh, this must actually be real.
Yeah, it has the vibe of like Top Men from the end of Indiana Jones or something like that. Yeah,
who are the top men? They're
it's
top
bullshit.
Men.
The guy's like, but the laser eyes. He goes camera flare, and it's like they're doing it to try and keep him safe, but they're
also doing it in a way that, of course, he's gonna be like.
It almost feels
validating.
it almost feels like subconsciously they want to say like good job, kind of thing, like.
But he does it in a really kind of cold way,
which then only feeds the feds came and told me it was fake, but that's how I knew it was real.
You can even see Dean's like a kind of uncomfortable with lying to Ron like that.
Yeah,
and even he goes like, yeah, he's done a lot of the good work here.
Well, and Dean's even saying like people think we're crazy.
Yeah.
It's like he's not that different from us.
But he's saying the difference is, Sam says the difference is that he doesn't know what he's actually up against, and he'll just get himself killed. So we need to send him in the wrong direction.
Yeah, exactly.
So we go back to the motel, and Sam and Dean manage to grab a hold of the tapes at Ron's house. Clearly recognize that they are hunting another shapeshifter, just like in St. Louis, by the creature's retinal reaction to the video. Dean questions Sam about why he threw Ron off the case, and Sam's response was that he's not a hunter. He's just going to get himself killed.
Which is funny because doesn't that feel a little bit like more of a Dean move?
Yeah,
like Dean is kind of like the leave this to us sort of guy usually.
Yeah,
Sam almost usually feels more like the
empathetic one, right?
Yeah, I
totally
would think, but.
So they're looking at a map of the sewer main. Dean points out that there's one more bank on that line, and that the shapeshifter might target that one next. So we go to that city, the City Bank of Milwaukee. The boys disguise themselves as workers from the security system company in order to gain access to the surveillance camera, so they can find the shapeshifter.
Yeah.
Several hours pass, and there's still no sign of the shapeshifter. So they basically arrive, and I love this because they're like in these jump shoots. You're really getting the sort of night shift situation now.
Yeah.
Like this is them sort of, like it's almost like them in this. Like it's hard to explain, but it does feel like this is the episode.
Yes. Yeah.
I like I would just watch them watch videos the whole time.
Like, I think even the general look of this episode has a little bit more of that grayish, almost green kind of tinge to it. Like, I don't think they color corrected it, but you know what I mean? It's just like...
Oh, they definitely color corrected it.
But it feels very X-Filesy.
Yeah. It does feel like a different show a bit in this moment, right?
It's kind of, it's right. I forgot about this. Dean using the security camera to look at the teller's ass. That's a big dirtbag, Dean. Yes, Sam says we're supposed to be looking at eyes.
And her eyes are up there.
Yeah.
Real bad. But they're looking around and see nothing until they get a close up of the bank manager and see his eyes flare at the camera.
Yeah.
They also capture Ron locking up the front door to the bank with a chain.
Yeah. I mean, it's so heartbreaking because this guy is convinced he's the only person that knows the truth, and he's the only one that could do the right thing, and the only thing he can think of is to hold up the bank. He's so like not that sort of guy, but like he believes that there's like a mandroid, right? Like this is like an existential threat to him. You have like he must be so scared, and he's like, I guess I have to hold up the bank.
It makes me understand a bit more. They're completely wrong, but it helps me understand a bit more about the super aggressive Christians and stuff who are like picketing against things and like
if you take for granted that they truly believe the things they have been taught, then
like the world is going to go to hell if you
or
don't
they
correct
think that
these
like
things.
they're literally trying to save the souls. I mean, they're still fully wrong,
misguided,
completely misguided, and that. But in those particular cases, you can see the motivation at least.
Yeah, like you can understand how you get.
I don't think
point.
everyone gets that.
No,
I think there's a lot of people that like don't fully buy in. They're just kind of being hateful. But
that's a thing to do. Yeah, it's easier to hate than to love.
Yeah. But it's.
But anyway, so
I do think it makes this guy very sympathetic. You know, where he's
trying to do the right thing. He's
just scared, and he sees Sam and Dean, and he's like, wait a minute.
Well, because he runs into the lobby and pulls out his rifle and just basically, it seems like it's a bank robbery.
Yeah.
And everybody's interpreting it that way, but he's actually trying to find the shapeshifter.
Yeah.
Which is when Sam and Dean walk out. And it's like, imagine if these guys were pretending to be FBI agents.
Yeah.
Then you walk, then you go to do this thing, and then they show up like that. You're going to be like, wait a minute. You believed me? Like,
yeah, so they because of that, but he also immediately suspects them, right?
Well, yeah, how wouldn't you at that point?
So
right?
then he gets someone else to like frisk them, and they find like the silver dagger or whatever that Dean has, and he drops it in like the deposit box.
You could see that pain in Dean's face because he's just like, I really liked that.
But
knife.
also like, I need that.
Yeah. But I think the look was more like, I love that knife.
Yeah.
But he immediately realizes they aren't FBI agents and orders them to the ground.
Yeah.
Takes away their weapons. Finding no other option, Dean comes out and tells Ron the truth about the case. He's basically just like, it's the bank manager.
Yeah.
Which I love. I always love the moment when they finally just go, okay.
I know, but this is a dangerous move for Dean. I mean, I know they're also trying not to get shot, but like this guy is, while correct, kind of, he's also unhinged.
Yeah.
To just say like it's the bank manager, this guy could just turn and blow the guy away.
I mean, the guy's a bad guy is fine.
I know, but like, you know what I mean? Like, but what if then he goes like, well, I don't trust that I have to stop there. Like, I think I'm gonna cleanse this route. Like, this is a dangerous move that Dean is playing.
That's true.
Here,
Yeah, definitely. So he says that he basically is like, look, it was a bank manager, and there really is something in the bank, but it's not a mandroid.
Yeah.
Dean says they need to find the bank manager because the shapeshifter is in him. Ron allows Dean to come with him, but locks everybody else in the vault.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's a good process. There's a thing that happens in a minute with everybody sort of like loving Dean that I really enjoy in this episode.
Oh yeah.
It's a good moment. But so we go to the bank manager's office a few minutes later. Dean and Ron burst into the manager's office only to find a layer of skin, and now basically they're figuring out that it could be anybody. Everybody's stuck in the bank vault. Which also, like, doesn't that mean there's like limited air in there?
I mean, is it airtight? I don't really know. I don't think I've ever been to a bank big enough to have one of these like full, like that door was like 3 feet thick. Like, I don't think I've ever been in a bank that big before.
There was a nightclub in Toronto that I used to go to that the entrance you would go through a bank vault.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and they basically just like took out the back of it, so you would walk through. They would open this gigantic door. You'd walk.
Oh,
in
that's tight as hell.
It was the craziest. This nightclub also had multiple nightclubs inside of it. It was very, very cool. But yeah,
Sorry, I just got distracted by another gross flesh pile.
the flesh piles are disgusting. It's a really awful thing that they do.
Yeah. I think a shapeshifter is the grossest monster on Supernatural.
There's somebody in like there's a creature in like season 15 or 14 that's really disgusting.
Grosser than this?
There's like a bug
Ugh.
creature
Oh, God,
that
it's the visual effect too. It looks like wet deli meat. Like,
yeah, it does.
ugh.
And I love wet deli meat.
What?
Huh? Really ruined it for me. But yeah, it is disgusting.
Yeah,
It
so
looks-
they find this pile of flesh and the bank manager's clothes, and they're like, "Fuck, he changed shape. Back to square one now." Yeah. So Dean is looking around
for
for
silver.
other silver. He's sort of guiding Ron through it. As much as this feels like it should have been a Sam thing, I do like those moments where we get like sympathetic Dean, where he's like, because you can see like Dean, the life is hard on Dean. And so you can see like this guy gets called crazy. People think he's a fucking nutcase, but he's the only one that's actually seeing that something is going on here. And he takes pity on him. And I kind of like that for Dean. It's a nice
Balance.
character beat.
Yeah. I enjoy it too. Now we go outside the bank. Squad cars are surrounding the building. Helicopters are flying overhead, much like the beginning of this episode. The cold open.
Yes.
We're here.
We're getting there. Yeah.
Like,
all the SWAT guys and
I'm like,
stuff.
this is an intense response. I guess it makes sense, but
I mean, it's a hostage situation. I don't think you say like, well, only send 3 cars because you gotta block off the area. You gotta cover all of the angle. Like, I think it's always a pretty intense response when it's a hostage situation.
yeah, we should have more cops.
Oh no!
What? Huh?
What a weird turn for this show.
No, yeah. Cops are good. We should give them more money.
Oh no!
So I like this. Now it turns into a bit of a cop show.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, the lieutenant or whatever shows up and he gets debriefed and he's like, "Yeah, the guy locked himself in. It's the first thing he did." Blah blah blah. And then we cut back inside, and Ron's just so happy that he's not crazy. He's like, "Oh my god, this is such a relief."
He's like, yeah, you got it basically, except for the Mandroid thing. Like, you did a good job. That's when the police cuts the power off of the bank. Sam and Dean need to now figure out what their next move is going to be. I mean, this is the first time they've ever been in like a real police situation like this.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the things I love about this episode is like, oh, suddenly like they like, how the hell are they going to get out of this?
I love that Dean is like, Ron is like, "What happened?" Dean's like, "They cut the power. That's how they say hi. You didn't exactly do a great job of this. You didn't secure the security guard." Like, Dean is like, "If I was going to rob this bank."
Yeah, this is the thing that I would have done. Well, that's the thing too, right? Like, they probably could do a really good job if they wanted. But you could see now Ron's freaking out. He basically is getting more and more like agitated.
Yeah.
He's got that gun going crazy.
Yeah, we cut to inside the vault.
I love this.
This one bank teller is so horny. She's just like going up to Sam and be like, "Your brother really just stared at that gun and he's like a psycho." And it's like, geez, like, lady, like, you might still die today. Like, can you calm down?
Like, if you die, like, remember the whole like how wearing clean underwear thing?
Yeah, it's so insane.
But since the cops cut off the power, they have no access to the cameras now. So there's no way to tell who the shapeshifter is.
Yeah, that's right, because they don't have the cameras anymore. They find some more people hiding elsewhere in the bank and bring them to the vault as well.
Yeah. It's crazy. This becomes like a full out, like they have this discussion about how Dean's wanted by the police too. Yeah. So like they're double fucked at this point.
Yeah, Sam's like, even if we don't die here, like, how are we getting out?
Yeah, this seems like they've got every exit like accounted for.
I mean, the guys are good, but they're not like, there's still only just 2 regular guys.
Yeah, they don't have
like,
superpowers.
Yeah.
Like, how do you they can't fly out of that there. So, I mean, at this point, they have to kind of figure out what the next move are. They have the cops to deal with. They have the shifters to deal with. They're probably never going to be able to find it. Like, what do they do? And Ron is being an idiot, just like standing in front of windows.
Yeah.
Like, literally putting himself in the exact position to be able to get shot in the head.
Yeah, and Dean just has to be like, out of the light, buddy. And he's like giving him the thumbs up. And stuff. It's pretty funny.
They have a lot of those moments where basically now they're taking over.
But Dean is like, we have to. Sam is like, we got to let the cops in, right? Like, and Dean is like, if we do that, we all get arrested and the shifter gets away.
Yeah.
He's like, this might be our only shot at it. We have to keep playing hostage taker.
It's either going to be in the vault or it's going to be in the halls. But either way, they've got to find out a way out of the buildings because Dean's wanted by the cops.
Yeah.
So Dean decides to do a sweep of the building to try to find the shapeshifter. Back in the vault, one of the security guards is apparently having a heart attack.
Yeah.
So you get Dean sort of like wandering through the dark with his flashlight.
God, this makes me think of playing fucking
oh my God,
Resident Evil.
That's right.
In the fucking police station, Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, and the windows
station.
You have to like pass the window and the thing drops.
I know. That's exactly what I'm thinking of right now. I'm getting so scared.
Yeah, find Scaredy Guys on YouTube.
Oh, Christ.
That's really funny. So, yeah, we're back in the vault and this guy starts like gripping his chest and stuff.
Yeah.
But the problem is like, is he actually having a heart attack or is he the shifter? Like, you have no idea. But they're like, no one gets to leave this vault. Like, we can't.
Yeah.
Like, they're basically like, this guy's going to have to die. Either we kill the shifter or.
Oh, yeah. The phone rings.
Oh, yeah. Ron picks up the phone and it's
hello?
just like, yeah. Demands? No. I'm not robbing the bank. I'm actually kind of a hero.
Yeah. It's so funny. He's like, I'm not a bank robber. I'm a crime fighter.
Yeah.
We got a shapeshifter situation.
So funny. And Sam has to be like, fucking Ron, get off the phone.
Yeah, Ron says, I'm acting alone. He has no sense of self-preservation.
No.
Which I think this is where Sam's position on this makes sense, where you say he's not a hunter. This guy might have his heart in the right place, but like he will get himself killed. He's just like, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's operating scared. He may have been like onto something, but like he's not capable of dealing with it.
It's really funny. Sam basically sees no option but to phone the cops and asks for a paramedic.
Yeah,
because if this guy's gonna have a heart attack, like they need to save him. In one of the offices of the bank, Dean notices a crack in the ceiling.
Yeah, like one of those like tile, like office ceiling kind of things.
So he breaks it open with a coat rack. And a dead body falls to the floor. So now they've got another dead body they have to deal with.
Yeah.
But also, like, the audacity to put a body up there. Like, why not just, like, you're just killing people. Why does it matter? I guess if
I guess it's just...
You don't want them to know which one you are.
It just has to hide long enough, right? You know? Yeah, and Dean flips the body over, and it's one of the guys that's in the vault right now that's like trying to look after this security guard guy.
Exactly.
He's the guy that's been like, we got to get this guy to a hospital or whatever.
Dean rushes back to the vault and he and Sam bring the security guard out to lure the shapeshifter into a trap.
Yeah.
So now they know it is, but they don't want to immediately go after him.
But Dean kind of tells Sam how... I think he gives Sam the heads up. Yeah. So Sam takes the security guard out. The guy's like, I'll come with. And it's like, no, that's fine.
However, the shapeshifter still manages to escape with Ron running after it.
Yeah.
This is you could see he's just like, hey, like you got the gun, man, like whatever, and then boom, beats the shit out of Dean and runs.
Yeah.
Oh God, the next part that's about to happen though.
Oh no, that's right. Yeah, Ron runs out after him. And he runs into the light, and the cop, like the sniper, takes the shot and shoots Ron. And it's bad.
Just before and after Ron gets shot, there is only one laser pointed on him, and it's reasonable that this laser would be from the gun that shoots him. However, the entry and exit wound of the bullet are completely different angles.
Are you saying
than
there's
the
a
direction of
conspiracy about Ron's death?
There's
There
no
was
way.
a magic bullet.
There's no way the gun could have shot him. I know.
There was a second
There
shooter
was.
in the episode about a conspiracy theory.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that incredible?
We need the truth.
Yeah, this goes all the way to the top.
Yeah, Kripke.
All right. So Dean
Oh,
escorts
it's so sad.
Yeah,
I mean, he's just.
just dead. They just kill him. Dean escorts the security guard out of the building while Sam goes after the shapeshifter.
Yeah, now Dean's he's kind of got to live with this now, right? He's sort of like, he was encouraging him.
Yeah.
Like, which was a strategy or whatever, but it's like, now the guy's dead, man. Ugh.
It's so sad because like he plays a really good like sort of like he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and Dean sort of says, like, you did a really good tracking this thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's so hard. I mean, this episode is... We're in the hostage situation like almost immediately in this episode. It's very quick in there and it's like action and intrigue. And then we take this little beat for just like, it's so sad.
Here, do you want me to make you feel better about it?
Because I don't know that it's often that the collateral damage in the episode is someone that the guys already know.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
usually it's like,
Not often.
and someone else gets killed and then they follow the
Yeah.
trail. But like once they've met someone, they usually save them. You know what I mean?
You want me to make you feel better about it?
Why is this guy like a piece of shit or something?
No, I just mean imagine that character's opinions about the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
women in comics. I think you'll probably.
I don't know. I think his heart was in the right place.
Oh,
He
I'm
was
sure. I'm sure all their hearts are in the right place.
I'm not.
Sam discovers more shed skin and phones Dean, saying that it could be anyone again.
Yeah, and we basically get to the part where Dean is bringing the security guard out for the paramedics. And the shot that we saw at the beginning. So Dean's face has now been on TV, and Dean relocks the doors and everything. And
We are so screwed.
yeah, I think the skin looks grosser in this episode. Like it's more liquid.
I had a hard time looking at it last night because I
It's-
was like eating snacks and I was like, no, I don't.
And the guys point out that this shifter is able to change faster than the one in St. Louis.
Yeah,
He's
he's like a quick change artist.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can imagine going to like a magic show and they put like the drape up
Yeah.
in front of it. Then you just hear like, and then they drop the drape and it's like someone else is there and also a pile of skin.
And a dead person
Yeah.
because he has to also
Oh,
kill.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Never mind. You can't use this in a magic act.
The magic of murder.
Oh, yeah. This guy. That's right. Yeah. The feds show up and this guy, I can't remember his name. He takes over. This Fed shows up because they come because Dean was on TV.
That's right.
And you sort of learn this guy's been like after Dean.
It's Special Agent Hendrickson,
Yeah, that's right, Henriksen.
who immediately
Oh, I love
recognizes
him.
Dean's voice on the phone. He demands for him and Sam to come out of the building immediately.
Yeah, and he says like there's a monster in that bank, and it's like because you learn this is like the fugitive situation.
Yeah.
This is the guy after Dean. Like
That's right.
It's his job at the FBI to find Dean.
He knows about the murder in St. Louis and the slip up in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And the cheap motels and thefts. It's
Yeah.
a great like.
I love this turn, this twist. And again, it's the show doing a good job of being like, we didn't forget about this.
But also, like, this is the. I mean, there has to be things that happen when you do all of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
There, like your actions have consequences
Yeah.
in this universe,
Yeah, totally.
which I love because it just like it's such a great continuity piece that most shows would never have even bothered.
And it's just, I mean, this episode already was tense. This is a level, an added level to this that is like not necessary, right?
Yeah,
Like the guys are already stuck in this situation. They got to escape the cops. They got to do all this stuff. There's a shifter in there. They don't know who it is. And then to add the layer of like, no, there's someone specifically chasing them from city to city.
yeah, like that he's been after them for months. He makes a comment that he says, he's like, and yes, I know about Sam too. Bonnie to your Clyde. He's referring to the Great Depression era bank robbing duo Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow.
Right.
He gives Dean 1 hour to make a decision, or the SWAT team will storm full force. Inside one of the offices, Sam finds Sherry's dead body in the closet. I love the conversation that he has.
Yeah, because this agent is like, it's like, I know about your dad. He's like, you don't know shit about my dad. He basically just rattles out, other than fighting ghosts.
Yeah.
He basically gets his dad right.
It's, I love this character.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Oh yeah.
And a great actor.
Yeah.
Like he's got this intensity to him. It's like the lawful version of what's his name, the hunter,
Of Gordon.
Of Gordon. Yeah.
Yeah. It's true. The cop is like, why are you being so aggressive with it? Like, they let a hostage go already. They haven't hurt anyone. And then this guy's like, you don't know the Winchesters.
This is like his
I'm getting
big
shit
case.
from up top.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta find these motherfuckers.
Like he's like these guys are psychopaths. Like he thinks
like, I've never had this clean a shot at them. I'm
gonna go in as hard as possible, right?
yeah.
It's crazy. I love this moment because they did not need to add it. That's the thing.
No, it's like I said, it's such like an unnecessary escalation, but it works really well in an episode that's already so tense. Sam is searching through the building. He opens a cabinet and sees that Sherry's body is in there. Dean had just been talking to Sherry.
Yeah.
And so then Sam goes to see Dean, and they go in and say, like, Sherry, we're gonna let you go.
Yeah, so they bring her out and show her the dead body. When she sees it, she starts screaming and faints.
Yeah.
Which is just like, wait a minute, like, what?
Yeah, well, and this shifter knows what's up, right?
Yeah.
Because they already almost pulled this once. Can I talk to you for a second? Like, they're like singling someone out. It means they know who it is. She sees the glint of like silver and stuff. Yeah, I mean, knows what's up.
I just love this, like,
yeah,
like legitimately freaking out, and they're like, "Is it a community theater? Like, that is the last time you become anybody." But she acts like,
yeah, and then she faints.
Yeah,
yeah,
and you're like, "Well, then who the hell is this?"
You're like, but. She seemed legitimately scared of seeing herself dead. That doesn't seem right.
Right?
Are we missing something? Even Sam is like, it's almost funny, the face that Sam makes. Like, it's kind of like a...
Like, which one is it then?
Sam says, Dean's going to stab the passed out Sherry. And Sam's like, how does this work well for you? Like, we got to figure this out before we stab something.
Yeah.
Which is the most Sam line possible, I think.
Yeah. But also, like, why not just do a small cut? Like,
yeah. Yeah, it's...
Like, I know they don't, like, steam or something, but...
It's...
Just as they're trying to figure it out, there's a glass shatter out front, and the SWAT team is now entered. Like, how much crazier can this get?
And that happens, and then the corpse Sherry... grabs Dean. That's what the shifter was pretending to be the corpse, which is a great move.
Yeah. As Dean turns around, the shapeshifter grabs him by the throat and then headbutts him twice and escapes. Dean manages to not get completely knocked out, and he chases after. But now you're getting these SWAT team.
The fucking SWAT guys are
like,
in there.
It's so intense because like you thought that episode where they break into the motel was crazy, right? Like with when the police breaks in.
Yeah.
But this is like way crazier. Like these are like tactical force.
It's just like a great aesthetic though too. It's one of those big old marble banks.
Yeah.
I love like the architecture, and then we're down in like the furnace room, and then it's also the lights are out. Like there's the whole atmosphere of this is really good. Because those old buildings also have a lot of sort of unnecessary rooms and corridors. And like places to hide. And so I will say though, the SWAT team's not doing a great job of sweeping this furnace room. Dean just like hides behind something. They look around a corner and go like, oh, no, nothing here. It's like there's like a hostage taker in here. Shouldn't you be like
really double
doing
checking?
this? Yeah.
They're like, ugh, I guess. Yeah, but the cops end up like like telling somebody to freeze. They think they found the right person. Dean manages to catch up with the shifter and rams it up against a wall. Oh yeah, I wish he would ram me up a wall.
Oh Jesus! You're starting to sound like that diamond clerk from earlier in the episode.
Yeah, I want his arm to come up my throat.
Oh my god. That's such an insane line.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I love that.
Sam
fights Dean fights
Dean beats up a girl.
Dean beats the shit out of fake Sherry in a slip.
Yes.
Which is it's a good fight actually.
Who wears just a slip? Like,
oh yeah, and then he like grabs her arm and then the skin comes off. It's so gross.
Yeah.
It's so gross.
It's a good fight though. Like
it is. It's a very good fight. Oh, ooh, Dean. Sorry. I was blacked out there for a second.
Press me up against a wall.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, and then Dean stabs the shifter. Yeah, Dean gets all the way up inside the shifter.
Makes direct eye contact.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's a good fight. It's a good kill, but then there's still the SWAT guys in the hall. Like, they're still not out of the woods.
No, if anything, now they're just double fucked because they just killed this person.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just the opposite setup of the last time, right? Yeah. Oh, God. So messed up.
The arm?
Yeah, the arm's so fucked looking. Yeah, SWAT guy comes in and
sees Dean with a dead body.
Yeah.
Like, so fucked up. Like, Sam's caught, Dean's caught. Now that FBI agent shows up.
He's coming in. This is his big moment. Finally gonna get that promotion, baby.
The cops are all like, go, 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 clear, move.
Yeah, it's all that kind of fucking militarized whatever. Yeah, they find the body that Dean had found in the ceiling.
Like the skin off the arm. Like, imagine if you're a cop and you find that somebody did, like, it looks like someone did that to somebody. Like, I get why he hates them.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then they say, like, Sherry must have had, like, a twin sister or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because there's another one who looks just like her here.
Because why would the shifter take a form?
Yeah.
But, yeah. Yeah, this FBI agent is like, ducts, ceiling, furnace. I don't know if your guys went into a room and looked around one corner but didn't check the whole room, but tell them to check it again.
Yeah. I have a sneaking suspicion that your SWAT team might be inept, so can we double check shit?
Yeah.
Like, you could tell he's so, like, I would watch his show just because he seems like he's really good at his job.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Like, if he was just going after serial killers.
They open, like, a closet and they see two guys, like, tied up in just their underwear or whatever, and the guy's like, damn it.
Oh, because Winchesters!
Yeah, Sam and Dean managed to get out dressed as SWAT guys. They go make their way to a parking garage.
They never do this move ever again, and they really should many times. This is a good move. Like, these outfits really would help them later on.
Just having the SWAT outfits, yeah.
Like, it's such a fucking cool moment. I mean, it makes sense that that's what they were gonna do, but I had no idea. I was just like, well, they're fucked now. Like,
and it's one thing to say you're gonna do it, but like the SWAT guys are pretty heavily armed. You still have to make it happen. You have to incapacitate them and then take all their clothes and get changed and get out before anyone else finds you.
It's a moment.
It's not like a great plan.
It shows how capable these guys are.
Yeah,
though.
it looks great on TV, but it's still like a pretty fucking wild plan.
I love this moment, this quiet one where they're finally sort of free. They're in these SWAT outfits and they're just like, we're fucking so fucked.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad because they're like actively being chased by the FBI now.
Yeah,
also they got a guy killed.
Yeah.
You know, et cetera, et cetera. This was not really a win.
No.
The Winchesters. They did beat the shifter.
More like the lose Chesters.
Oh, fuck.
Jared has said that this episode has one of his favorite music cues in the entire series. So at the end Styx Renegade plays. He thinks it's a bad way. It's a badass the way that the acapella intro starts as the boys jog away in their SWAT uniforms.
Right.
Breaks as Dean says we're so screwed, and then crashes in as they drive away.
Yeah.
It's a
good cue.
Yeah. And that is the end of this episode.
Boy. Oh
So
boy.
you were coming into this, you were concerned. How do you feel now?
I feel vindicated.
Yes.
Also,
Like as if you had a conspiracy theory about whether this episode was going to be good, and you were proven right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the stuff that we were talking about, the layers of tension and anxiety in this episode, from the palpable fear of someone like Ron, who there's something going on, he's the only, no one believes him. And then the fear of he is unstable. What is he going to do when he takes this matter into his own hands and locks down this bank?
Mm-hmm.
And then the fear of this is there's a shapeshifter in the bank.
Yes.
And then the fear of like Dean and Sam have to get away from the cops as well as beat this shifter. And then the fear of even if they manage that, the FBI is on them.
Yeah.
Like is chasing them. It's not just like just stay off the radar. Like it's not like the GTA thing, like hide in the bushes for 20 seconds, we'll be fine.
That's not real?
Oh God.
Oh no.
Oh no. He was so easy to catch.
You just hear cop cars outside my window.
Yeah.
I've been gone. I figured it was fine. It was this morning.
He just kept moving back and forth like under this bridge, and he thought that we weren't going to get him, but we did, obviously. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all of that stuff makes this such like a tense episode. We love a bottle episode on this show.
Love
a real
it.
contained sort of set.
Love
and
it.
stuff like that.
Love a single location.
I love the additional fear of like, oh, this shifter is also faster at shifting. Like, if we lose sight of this shifter, they'll take on another form.
Yeah.
Which is because the last time it took that one a while and bones cracking and stuff. This one seems to do it a lot faster. So
just like
pop. It's just it's a really good episode, and it does still have these moments of like, you know, you could see like Dean seeing something of himself, or like that regret of like, people think we're fucking nuts, you know, like I hate being like a motel drifter who has to tell people about ghosts. And then he sees that in Ron, but he also doesn't do a good enough job of bringing him in. It's also kind of Sam's fault that he didn't bring him in, and now Ron is dead. Now they both have to live with that. Like, it's a high action, kind of high intensity, good kind of suspense episode, but also has these really awesome character kind of beats and things in there. We get the introduction of Henriksen, who is such a good character. Love him.
Yeah.
Really, really love that. I don't really have an issue with this episode. I think I'm gonna give this 5 interviews from behind.
It's the best kind.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to agree with you. I one of my favorite things this show does, especially as the series goes on, is genre plays. Like they take a type of movie, a type of genre, and play onto it. It's one of my favorite things they do, I think, because it's sort of like bowling a bit with bumpers. It's like, okay, we have the parameters here, so let's just see what we can do within those, because we're going to be successful regardless. So then it's such a tight script. It's such a tight episode. The cinematography is really good.
Very well shot.
Yeah. Some of the best A players we've ever gotten. Like,
yeah. I mean, Ron, man, just the
heartbreaking.
So sympathetic.
And it would be so easy to just let that guy live, and the choice
or
to kill
treat him sillier. But he's very human. Like, even just that moment where he's like, "Thank God I'm not crazy. You did that for me. Thank you." And then you're like, it's so much sadder.
But to give you that and then to take him away. To like give you the like, oh, this guy, like maybe he could be a hunter. Like,
and then it also serves like as a reinforcement of like, no, Sam and Dean are very good at what they do.
Yes.
Have you been watching this show for a season and a half? You think you can hunt? like it's almost that.
You're like, yes.
It's almost that kind of thing a little bit too.
Yeah, if you weren't just terrified of everything, you'd be a great hunter, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty big hurdle to get over.
So yeah, I definitely think that this is probably the one of the best episodes this season.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm going to give it 5 quick change goo piles.
Oh yeah. Wow, there we go.
I mean, is this the highest we've rated an
This
episode?
is our first full 5 since In My Time of Dying.
Wow, that first episode.
Since
Wow.
the season premiere.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is we're almost halfway. We're probably just over.
Yeah, this is episode 12.
Yeah.
So this is basically the halfway point.
Wow. Yeah. Look at that. And what I know about this season is it just gets better from here.
Yeah, it sure does.
Whew.
Yeah. I also just wanted I don't want to turn this into the show of issuing corrections, but at the start of this episode when we were like, wow, 3.4 something, and you were like, I think it's because of last episode. You remember the last episode we across the board gave it 2s.
Oh yeah.
We did not like it.
No, we did not.
Even
Wow.
I was like, yeah, I guess it's fine.
Yeah, no, you're right. I couldn't remember
It's
what
because we didn't just immediately watch it that I think we're looking back on it and be like, oh yeah.
No, it wasn't that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just forgot what that episode was.
Yeah.
Well, that is it for this week. If you have a note about this, a past or maybe a future episode that we're going to talk about, something that you want to mention that maybe we have missed, or you just want to talk to us about the show or just about us personally, we're really the Sam and Dean, so I know we're...
Yeah, Sam and Dean famously open with strangers.
Yeah, we'll tell you about what we do.
Yeah, we'll immediately tell you what our jobs are.
Yeah.
How we feel about our dad.
Yeah, and just like Sam and Dean, I'm your
our
boss.
hopes, our dreams, our aspirations, our secret desires.
I mean, secret? Do we have any desires that are secret at this point?
No.
No, they've been pretty well documented at this point.
It's just Dean.
Again, not secret.
Yeah.
But you can send us an email at
ghostfacerspodcast@gmail.com.
or reach out to us through our various social media platforms.
Yeah, we are Ghostfacers Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And if you like what we do here, you might like a little something on our other podcast.
Yeah, check out the Dr. DC podcast. It's about DC Comics. We answer listener questions. You don't need to know anything about comic books. It's just like a fun way to talk about superheroes and crazy stories.
Yeah.
And there's definitely some like connections to supernatural
Oh,
in that.
yeah.
There's a lot of lore. There's a lot of rules about how powers work. So if you like learning about how ghosts work, but you want to learn how like flight works, there's rules for that.
Yeah.
You might enjoy the lore side of that.
Superheroes are really the ghosts of supernatural.
What?
Say goodbye, bitch.
Jerk.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.